When you accept yourselves in those moments of life, that's when you can actually be present. Hey everybody, Rafi Konsker here, Preferred Plumbing Solutions. How are all of you doing? So check this out. I'm focusing this video right now on self-worth. There's something very interesting about self-worth. First and foremost, we don't focus on it enough, understanding what self-worth means and how it shows up in our interactions, in our day-to-day lives, in our relationships, etc. So if you'll notice, if you ever observe people, let's say two people are playing a game, or two people are playing a card game, or two people are having a race, or two people, etc., etc. If there's two competitors, even if it's a friendly competition, you'll notice the way they interact or the way they respond if they've lost. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't be disappointed if you've lost something, but losing shouldn't change your emotional state, maybe for a second or two, but it shouldn't totally encapsulate your existence. Now, you don't even realize when that is happening, because what happens is, without knowing, our self-worth is wrapped up in what we create, our creativity, what we've built, our ability to win, to prosper, to do well, etc. Now, this doesn't conflict with discipline. This doesn't conflict with having goals. This does not conflict with pushing yourself to do more, because I believe in that, deeply believe in that. But you can't get caught up. Sorry that I'm pacing around. I'm just outside here at the cottage and everything's soaking wet. There's nowhere to sit. But you can't get caught up, I shouldn't even word it that way. You have to be consciously aware of, what is my worth? And the more you work on accepting yourself and loving yourself for who you are, and you can accept all of yourself, and then if you're accepting all of yourself and really loving yourself, then no matter what you do, if you win or not, if you succeed or not, these things won't matter to your emotional state, to who you feel you are and how you feel you're showing up to things. But if your self-worth is fully invested in your ability to create, to be seen as desirable, to be seen as excellent, to be seen, etc., 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 which we do to ourselves, we're judging ourselves, then what happens is, when those scenarios don't come up, you're down, you're out, and you don't feel worthy. And when you're not feeling worthy, you can't show up to yourself. You can't love yourself, which means very hard for you to be a loving partner, a loving parent, a loving friend, an accepting individual, because we all treat everyone the way we treat ourselves. And we have to be aware. Like, when's the last time you looked at yourself in the mirror and said, I accept you and I love you? If you can't figure out a deep connection and be kind to yourself, and give yourself the same tolerance you'd give your cute little 2-year-old, because you are also someone's child. If you can't figure out how to give yourself that compassion, you're going to constantly be struggling with trying to push to another realm, to another existence, to being seen as worthy by your actions and things you've created. Whereas you should be worthy regardless of what you've done and what you've created. I know that's a deep concept, but if we can all practice gratitude, firstly, being grateful, loving ourselves, loving our environment, loving the things we have and being grateful for it. When you accept yourselves in those moments of life, that's when you can actually be present. And we always talk about this concept of being present-minded, being here, being in the now, not being overwhelmed and disappointed and depressed about the past or things that should have been different, and not having anxiety and concerns about the future, because all those things aren't in your control right now anyway. But what is in your control is your present moment, and the only way to live presently wholeheartedly is to accept yourself and love yourself. That takes courage and that takes vulnerability. Good luck, guys.